My coverage of Computex 2023 is brought to you by Antec, Cooler Master, and MSI. To learn more about their products, check out the links in the description.
Holy moly, we've got another crazy RTX 4090 in the house. This one's from Asus. This is their ROG Matrix RTX 4090. Asus is claiming that this has the highest GPU boost clock. I'm unclear as to whether that's just among their own products or across the entire market. Either way, pretty impressive. It's also using liquid metal. No regular GPU thermal paste putty here. Liquid metal thermal compound is being used for the GPU die. It's going to allow for better heat conductivity and thermals potentially. We also have an enhanced pump with optimized flow rate. And this is of course being powered by a single 12-volt high power cable. Goodness gracious, that thing's beautiful. I love that tempered glass. I don't know if it's tempered, but there's definitely glass on the front. You can see the tubes going into the side of the card there. Got some RGB lighting on the top here. Just a beautiful design overall. Looks extremely modern, very clean. The hoses go to a 360mm radiator with some daisy chain fans. Cable management is done really nicely and discreetly. All of the wiring coming from the water block is running through and underneath the sleeving of the tubing and then plugging directly into the daisy chain fans. The nice thing about these water-cooled cards is that they're usually pretty thin. Especially for an RTX 4090, being able to do this in a 2-slot design is very nice, so it should be pretty compatible in a lot of cases that a traditional, let's say, RTX 4090 FE is not. However, you do have to be aware of the length. So the tubing is coming out the front of the card here, so that might limit your clearance a little bit, but overall, they do seem pretty flexible and that you can actually bend them pretty well, pretty aggressively without too much kinkage. I can only imagine how expensive this thing's gonna be when it launches. Asus is doing weird things again. They're doing really weird things, guys. This is their RTX 4070 BTF, which stands for Back to the Future. I hate the name. I don't like it. I'm just gonna say right now it's stupid. But the reason why they're calling it Back to the Future is because it's supposed to be futuristic, right? Like, look at this. See any cables? There's no cables. There's no power connectors. There's no anything. That goes for the motherboard too. What's going on here? How are they doing this? Well, we've seen a couple other board and GPU makers do cableless motherboards, but this is the first time I'm actually seeing a completely cable-free graphics card. The way they're doing this is, of course, by a couple pass-throughs. So this is the motherboard that they're using, which is the tough gaming hidden connector concept motherboard. These are all concepts. But you can see here we've got 3 8-pin PCI Express connectors, as well as a 16-pin 12-volt high-power connector that can do 600 watts just from that single port, or you can do 150 watts on each of these. So depending on what your power needs are for your graphics card, you can just plug those in, and those route, of course, straight to the power supply. So here you can see, thank you, Paul, for demonstrating this for me. Here you can see that on the bottom of this GPU, there's actually a gold finger, another gold connector next to the full by 16 slot that goes into a slot that's paired with it on the motherboard. And it connects just like so. And that's where your pass-through, as Paul graciously tries to connect this.
It's my first time plugging in a graphics card.
It's his first time, everyone. It's his first time. Go easy. Ah, beautiful, Paul. Great mounting. So that's basically how it works. And you've got up to 600 watts of juice going straight to the GPU, all through that little gold connector. Here's a look at the back of the board. You can see the 8-pin EPS connectors as well as the 24-pin connector are also back there, along with all the SATA ports. Pretty much all the connectors and headers that you would need are routed to the back of the board, so that it completely cleans up cable management and you get this really sleek appearance, which I don't know. Like I was telling Paul earlier, I don't really even notice when there's no cables in the build, because cables don't really stand out to me as much as they used to, now that they're usually all black or match the theme of the overall build. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Is this overkill? Is this solving a problem that doesn't exist? It is an interesting concept, and it's always cool to see brands try new things, but this is a really interesting concept that I don't really know if it'll catch on. Kind of just depends on the demand, I guess. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching my Computex coverage for 2023. I'll see you all in the next one.